What's up, everybody? Switch Force is here today to discuss the first human outside of Nintendo and outside of the game industry to play the Switch, the worldwide first reveal of the Switch, like in real space, not in a commercial, not in a press release, but in real space on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. He got to play Breath of the Wild on Switch with the gorgeous Reggie Fils-Aimé on stage alongside him. And this was like a big moment in the Switch sort of cycle because it's like done, it's real, it's there, and it makes me wonder if maybe Breath of the Wild actually is coming out with the launch of that system. Joining me as always is my other two pieces of this Tri-Force, Jake and Gabe. What did you think about Jimmy and his hands-on with the Switch?
He was very excited. His hands were very excited. He also played Mario Run, which I feel like
looks really good.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen like Twitter impressions because they're in the Apple stores now. A lot of people say it's not great. A lot of people saying it's amazing.
Really?
Yeah. Specifically, Wario64 didn't like it all that much.
Interesting.
Yeah, but a lot of other people.
I guess if you go in expecting to be like a full blown Mario,
yeah,
maybe, but it's not.
Yeah.
But I like what they're doing. I like that they added Toad, Luigi, Yoshi as playable characters. But the focus here, as great as that looks, is on the fact like now we've seen someone use the Switch. We've seen in real time that it actually does go from screen to system like in seconds. It sounded like there was a button press. You heard something like ding. So there must be like, are you sure you want to like play this on the go? But it seemed to work seamlessly. And from all comparisons we've seen, like Zelda looked really good running on Switch.
I would just like to correct you that you said Reggie's name wrong.
Yeah, you said Fees. Is it Fees? I thought it
No,
was
but he said Fils-Aimé. It's Fils-Aimé.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Reggie Fils-Aimé. Excuse me, Lord Savior Reggie. I'm sorry for disgracing your name. Reggie was just on point, though. His punctual, like, statesman-like way of addressing the crowd was just so great.
Reggie
and
President
Jimmy,
2020.
We've got one more surprise for you. I just love the way he
Why are you making him sound?
Because he addresses everyone like he's talking, like he's like, the Price is Right, and behind door number 3.
He's not Steve Brule, and you really made him sound like he was there.
No.
I really want Miyamoto's Samurai Mario shirt. That was pretty epic.
I think that might be a hint at one of the power-ups in the new Mario.
Or a setting. If it's like, what if it's like Mario travels through time? Oh,
Mario Shanghai
Yeah.
Shangri-La.
It's Mario Westworld. He's just going to the different parks.
Well, I would really hope it's on Mario Westworld.
Be a very gory game, but like it was really cool to see the Switch in action. I think the system looks really nice. I don't know if it's just me, but the construction of it looked really like high quality. I thought
the opposite.
Really?
I thought the opposite. Well, the Switch itself looked really high quality. The controller, the one where the Joy-Cons were all like in square shape, like with the like more traditional. That one looked a little cheap, but like the system itself did look high quality. Yeah. Yeah,
because what I was gonna say was in the initial like commercial reveal, it looked a little more plasticky, and I think that was just really emphasized by like the click sounds they always had. But here it looked a little bit more fancy, like a tablet. I like how it's got the big Switch branding on the back. The screen looked good. It looked like Zelda was running like phenomenally.
I was super.
So clearly, that's going to be the place to play it.
I was super surprised at how thin the whole thing is as well. Like the screen and everything is like half the size of a gamepad thickness wise.
What you figured they were gonna do, right? Like if this thing's supposed to be like, hey, take it everywhere with you. Like there's no way they're gonna make it like the size of the gamepad.
True.
And the gamepad feels like super cheap, so this like definitely looks 100% more premium than that. I love the Wii U, more than a lot of people do, because I like playing a lot of the older games on it. So I have a place in my heart for it, but it does feel cheap. And hopefully this thing doesn't feel that way, but it doesn't seem like it does. Except the controller. Yeah. The controller might.
Reggie was using more of the traditional controller, so they had like all the form factors there, which was interesting. I liked the way Link looked. He had a new outfit on. I also like Jimmy's his attack strategy, which is just mash the button as many times and as fast as he could. That was his way of taking out everyone. Yeah, it did work. Was there anything else you noticed that you thought was like a little different or a little odd? To me, like I was surprised that they were. To me, it looks like they have final units like ready to go.
They absolutely do, and here's a couple of things. I don't know if you guys noticed them or if you saw that people bring it up. USB-C was like it had USB-C on it, so that seems we already
confirmed now.
Yeah, like there seemed like there was a USB-C port, and the extra buttons on the back of it, like for the Joy-Con or whatever, they're there again. So like those things are definitely buttons. Like it seems that way because people said like, hey, are those things buttons, or are they just like little like impression things that like, you know, just for like making it a cool design? But it seems like those are buttons.
Right. So that further emphasizes that those controllers can be used probably for a plethora of multiplayer like local games, and with just the Switch, which again is cool. And you know, they really touted up and talked up the, you know, multi. He said like 3 consoles in one, which may be pushing.
No,
bit,
Jake, you got to do it. Jake, do it.
3 consoles in one.
That's how Jimmy was that excited.
He was so excited. And I mean, it's more like 2, but I guess what he was saying was like you can play it on the go by yourself, on the go multiplayer, or on the TV. I guess I was further impressed by the fact that it is such a natural transition. And, you know, with the fact that we've seen the rumor lately that when it's placed inside the dock, it's not like the dock itself is extra power, but because of cooling and whatnot, an extra fan, it is going to allow the Switch to run hotter and run at a little bit of a higher spec than it is on the go. I'm still just impressed the fact that this all works so well and looks to be like a true new style of game console.
Jake, what about Jimmy Fallon playing this got you the most excited? Did anything get you as excited as Jimmy was when he was holding that thing? His hand was shaking. He was...
Before Jake says that, my favorite part of the video is when he's playing Mario Run. He says, "You gotta name a character for me because blah." He like didn't even give a reason. He was just like, I was like, "Name Mario after you? What are you talking about?"
Yeah, he was just way too excited, hyped all around. I think I'm still really curious and want to feel it in my hand, how it feels when you take off the 2 sides of the controllers of the screen. They didn't really show that, but that's what I'm still most curious to see. But in terms of my favorite part of the video or what looked the coolest, I think, I don't know, all of it looked really cool. And I think the ability to have like the kickstand and everything, it just, I don't know, the whole thing looks really cool.
Yeah, he's like, it has a kickstand somewhere.
I just like that he constantly brought up that he knew so much about it. He's like, I know about this, I know everything.
Go back and count how many times he said he's geeking out.
And how many times he said he knows it. He knows everything.
Yeah.
He is a Switch Pro. And man, the question is with the new word on the street that it's gonna have a 5 to 8 hour battery life similar to the 3DS. Like, how is he going to maintain that level of excitement for 5 to 8 hours? Because I think he's going to run himself into the ground after like the first day of the system.
If 5 to 8 hours is really the battery life, man, like
that's incredible.
Yeah, they deserve like praise because this is like, it's not a super high resolution screen from what we can tell. It's like 720p or whatever, but that's like plenty for something that size.
Oh, for sure.
Like that'll be like super great because our worry, like especially early on, because we heard a rumor that like the battery was like 2 hours or something.
Right.
But if it's 5 to 8 and it's so seamless the way that Reggie made it seem here, if it's that seamless, which we can assume it is, right? Because like I was wondering while the video was happening, like Reggie like controlling like on the big screen, and then like because he wouldn't like let Jimmy like play that. Like Jimmy's like, give it to me, and Reggie like kind of ignored that, and he's like, no, let's look.
You think they were you think it was separate?
It kind of looked like it.
I was wondering, yeah, like I think it was separate. So I don't know if it's that seamless. I hope it is. But Reggie was adamant about not letting Jimmy hold the other controller. He picked up the Switch that was there, and he says, here, you can play with this.
So you think that like ding noise might have been him like turning on the Switch or unpausing the Switch, not anything to do with the transfer from the image to the...
I mean, who knows?
That's an interesting point. Yeah. I mean, I do. To me, the most exciting and interesting thing, besides just like physically seeing it in real space for the first time ever, is like I think it brings some legitimacy to the slight hope that Breath of the Wild still launches with the system. Because why do you show that if it's not coming out for another 9 months, another 6 months? Why is it there? You know, like to me that Reggie like talks about March, he talks about the Switch, he shows it. You think Breath of the Wild has a chance to actually be there?
You can't see me, but no, I really don't. I don't think Breath of the Wild is launched.
Okay.
I would love nothing more than to be wrong, but since you brought this up, right? You're trying to like pick just little tidbits. Like, what does it say that this is where Nintendo is showing this right now? Like, the Game Awards just happened. Not PSX has nothing to do with it. The Game Awards just happened, right? And
I hope they don't show it at PSX. That
would be amazing.
A weird day.
No, but the Game Awards happened, and they showed like the trailer or whatever, but they didn't show the console at all. So why is Jimmy Fallon the place that they decided?
think it's the same thing they did with the Wii being on Good Morning America and Regis and Kelly. I think it's really integrating it to the mainstream, and that seems to be their whole plan with Mario Run, and then the big press event in January, and then the launch of this. I think they're gonna go back to what worked with the Wii and try to really sell this as a system for everyone, as well as the hardcore. The directs and stuff speak to those people who are gonna go out and buy the amiibos and buy the whole lineup. But if you want to get sort of that mass hysteria going again, and you want people that own PS4s and Xbox Ones and PCs to double dip on a second console, I think you do need that sort of mainstream exposure. And Jimmy Fallon, from both a YouTube standpoint and a main television standpoint, he's pretty darn does that so well, the epitome of how to sort of take advantage of both sort of spheres, and so it seems like a really smart choice to me.
Going back to why they showed Breath of the Wild, I think it's just because it's the most hyped game, and they've been talking about it for so long that the masses know about it already. Whereas if they just brought up some brand new game, I think it would have been a little bit more confusing, a little bit just more out of the blue, as opposed to since the Switch was the new thing that they were showcasing, then bringing something that they talked about before into it, really focused on that. Sure. The Switch was the brand new thing, not as opposed to a brand new game. So all the hype is focused on the Switch and Mario Run first as well.
I will give them this time, but if Breath of the Wild appears in another mainstream appearance, because here's what you don't want. You don't want to keep showing this off and have people be excited and then want to go to the store and buy that game, and that game's not there for months. That's where, just from more of a cerebral standpoint, I think if we keep seeing Breath of the Wild shown throughout December and January with this system, you want to show, because they showed Wii Sports, right, with the Wii, you don't want to have an instance where people can't buy what you're showing off,
I
right?
actually think Jake just made a great point, really. I think they're showing this because the January thing is we're going to show all the new games. And, okay, after January, if they are on Good Morning America and they're showing, by this point, Mario was already introduced in January. So, February, they're on Good Morning America and they're showing Mario and not Breath of the Wild. I think we can safely say it. I really don't. It doesn't feel like Breath of the Wild is launched, because I think that they would be adamant about it. I think, what reason do they have to not say, hey, Switch is coming in March, and Zelda will be there. Everybody's so excited for Zelda. Zelda will be there. Why not say it? Why hold that off?
Very valid point.
And I don't think that they would throw both a brand new Mario 3D World or 3D Mario and Breath of the Wild on launch and not have anything for a while, in terms of they're two huge IPs, and just kind of have a huge gap for a while.
Yeah, well, all of that will be revealed in January. I'm sure they go over their whole launch lineup and what to expect from that system when it comes out. But it was so cool to see it physically there, to know there are no more delays. This thing is 100% coming in March. The press briefs are set. Jimmy Fallon has played it. His shaking hands show us that the Switch is coming. And so for us at Switch Force, it was a beautiful moment. We hope you guys enjoyed the video and enjoyed Jimmy's excitement. And if you guys are excited as Jimmy, make sure to hit that like button. Let us know in the comments what you thought. If there's any other details or little nitpick things that you guys found. And for myself and Jake and Gabe, Switch Force out.